I'm delighted to be joined on VRP Rocks by a drumming legend, a man whose career spans so far with so many incredible legends that I cannot wait to hear his stories. Welcome to VRP Rocks, Mr. Chris Slade.
Hello, and thank you. I can't remember them either, to be honest.
Well, I'll try and jog your memory as we go along, shall we? That might be the best thing to do.
Yeah, why not?
Well, we'll start with something new then, shall we? Because that might be a bit easier to remember. You've got a brand new album coming out, Chris Slade Timeline. The new album's called Timescape. It's out July 19th, and we're looking forward to hearing this. Plenty of music on here. So let's start with the timeline. For people that have not caught you over the last, well, decade or so that you've been together, let us know exactly what the timeline is and where the idea came from.
I wanted to play my career, which would include AC/DC and everything, before, like Tom Jones even, and, Man from Man's Earth Band, Uriah Heep. And so Timeline does all that stuff. Asia,
Yeah.
uh, many, David Gilmour, Jimmy Page, so I wanted to play all of that. And I thought, who the hell is going to be able to play that or even want to play that? And then I saw these guys. I knew them before. I saw these guys um, in a pub doing covers. And they were doing covers like nobody, ever does. Genesis and Kansas and just prog rock really, really well. And I knew they'd have the musicianship to build a switch between those things I just mentioned and do it with integrity, which is very important. And they can, and we do. So, they've been playing, the two of them, James Cornford, the guitarist, and Mike Clark, the keyboard player, have been together since they were 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
And they're 35 now. So there's a few years of them playing together for decades. And being so young, that's hard to get, And they're both great musicians. They're both music teachers as well. And I thought, what a wonderful opportunity. In fact, a crew guy of mine came into the pub I was in. He didn't know I lived in the area. And I said, "Oh, I'm here to see the band." He said, "Great band. They're not a pub band, are they?" I'm meaning that, they played other things other than what you usually hear in a
Yeah.
pub, for instance, covers. And, I said, "Oh, that's my band now." And he was very surprised and very pleased, actually. He said they're fantastic, and they are fantastic. And we always have a good show, and we always go down really, really well. People are
Fantastic.
only disappointed when I say it's the last song of the evening, and then everybody goes, but before that, they're enthralled because the guys are such great soloists that they just hold the crowd in thrall, actually, and that's true. They're just stunned by when somebody plays a great solo in the old-fashioned way, because it seems to have gone out of fashion a bit.
Yeah, it's a dying art, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And these guys, at 35 years old, are capable of doing that in the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
So we switched from AC/DC to whatever, anything, the Firm, Uriah Heep. And it's a balanced set, and we usually play for 2 hours every night. And anything less seems like shortchanging, both us and the crowd.
Absolutely. So in terms of this record, then, as we said, the new album that's coming out, we've heard the musicianship's obviously top notch. So in terms of the record itself, there's a lot of new stuff on there. There's original material, isn't there? It's not just the covers from your incredible history. There's a lot of new stuff on there. So tell us about those songs.
Yeah. Well, I I've always written lyrics.
Yeah.
When I say always, I started in the early 70s, and I've always done lyrics for Earth Band. Here's the cover as of Timescape.
There we go.
And I started, I thought, I wonder if I can write melodies. This is about 2.5 years ago. And I started writing melodies, and I could hum them pretty good. I can hum in tune, like, and Mike, the keyboard player, and James also, guitarist. They make sense of my humming, And you want it minor or major, or you're minor in this one, and it's like that. So they interpret my hums because I don't play a chordal instrument at all. But I can invent lines, so which is melodies, even bass lines or string lines or anything. And Mike will interpret that, and I'll say, "Oh, that's a string line," or "That's a bass line." And then the guys would play. I'll do the demos, and then the guys would play it, in the studio. So that happened over the last couple of years, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. So I was writing lyrics and melodies, and I'm really pleased. I didn't know I could do it. Honestly, I did not know. I'd never tried before.
Wow.
I didn't know when I started writing lyrics that I could write lyrics. I remember driving around a roundabout around Twickenham way in England, and I just kept driving round and round, going, oh, it goes, driving round and roundabout. I thought, oh, I can write. So that was in the early 70s. I didn't try writing melodies until 2.5 years ago.
Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. It just shows you it's never too late, Chris.
No, absolutely not. Everybody should realize that. And, there's a song, the originals song on the album. There's one side that's originals and one side that's covers.
Yep.
And the originals sang, there's a song called, hang on, I've got to look. Living the Dream. And that's all about self-belief, because everybody needs self-belief. And they say, oh, you're living the dream. I say, well, you got to believe in yourself, man. You got to look. It's no good saying, oh, well, why should I go for that job at the bank? Because I'm never going to get it. I can't count. Who cares? Go for the job, man. If you want that job, believe in yourself. And everybody is a detractor. Everybody is there to pull you down.
Yeah.
Like the trolls on the internet, If you believe what they say, and unfortunately people do believe what they say, oh, that's a terrible song, or, she looks terrible, she's overweight or she's underweight, or, whatever. That is awful. And now they got a voice, whereas in the past they had to go up to somebody and say, you look terrible, which of course they never would.
They never would. No,
No.
not at all. Not at all.
Probably, they'd get a punch in the mouth if they did. That's what trolls are. I mean, trolls are cowards, really, because if they did it in real life, they would get punched in the mouth. You're overweight, bang.
Very true, Chris. Wise words indeed. A question that I like to ask people who bring out new music, so it kind of puts you on the spot, but it helps us understand where your mind's at, is what is your favorite track on the new album? Is it that one you've just spoken about?
Time Flies is my favorite track. I sing it, but that's not why it's my favorite track. Far from it. I always demo my songs. I demoed all of them, along with Mike Clark. He's a tremendous asset. And the guys all decided that, seriously, the band said, you must do this on your own. We have 2 singers in the band. In fact, everybody sings. But they said, you got to do this on your own. And so I said, okay. And I was quite happy with what I had done. So I recorded it with me singing, and I put all the production ideas in, and it turned out so great. Time Flies wouldn't have happened, of course, without Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Um, and in the beginning, I just had a keyboard thing going, and that's where the whole song grew out of, like 8 minutes of song or something. And then End of Eternity, which the song comes after that, um, that just came from the chords of Time Flies. And I think that turned out really well.
Fantastic
So,
stuff, Chris. So, as you said there, the new material is fantastic, and we look forward to listening to that. But you did say there was the second CD as well, and that's tracks from your career, your illustrious career. So, how difficult is it for you to go back and looking at all the people you've worked with and all the bands you've played with to actually select 9 or 8 tracks or whatever it is that's on the CD to pin them down to just that number?
well, we've, as I said, we always been recording for 10 years. Whenever we had some time, we'd go in the studio, and it was always covers. It was never originals. So the guys, again, they such great musicians. They can switch to anything. So we did Uriah Heep, and we did AC/DC, and we did Asia, and all points in between. And we still got a lot in the can, so we can always access that. So the record company wanted some AC/DC, and I thought, well, I'm not just going to do AC/DC. And so I put Asia, and I put Uriah Heep in there, and Earth Band as well. So I thought it was a diverse and balanced CD. So I'm really pleased that I always wanted two sides. Like a couple of years ago, decided I'd like to have two sides to every story, and it turned out great. I think I'm very proud of it.
Good stuff. Well, that's Chris Slade Timeline. Timescape, the album. It's out July 19th. I urge everyone to get hold of a copy for fantastic originals and the covers that go back through Chris's incredible career as well.